What's going on, vibers? It's your boy J.S. Vaughn. And guess what, y'all? We back with another one, y'all. Today's track is called Die by the Gun by your boy Bugzy Malone. Let's jump right into it, fam.
If you live by the gun, die by the gun. If you live by the gun, die by the gun. If you live by the gun, die by the gun. If you live by the gun, die by the gun.
Yo, man, I even like the chorus. If you live by the gun, you gonna die by the gun. Well, I'm not saying it correctly, but yeah, if you live by the gun, die by the gun. That's nice. I like how it is, man.
Watch this. It's a shame that the hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. All that knowledge and wisdom, but he didn't share it, so there's no one to protect him.
Yo, hold up. I gotta rewind because he's saying some real shit.
Watch this. It's a shame that the hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens, but
that nigga said it's a shame that the hood's an addiction. You know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, when you living in the hood and whatnot, you know what I mean? It's the. I feel like sometimes like you feel like you're trapped, but you feel like you enjoying every moment of that lifestyle when you living in it. You know what I mean? So I understand completely why he says like the hood is an addiction and whatnot, because it's scary, but at the end of the day, so a lot of this shit is fun. You know what I mean? So I could tell, yeah, I could see how that came out of his mouth. Yeah.
Bugzy Malone. If you live by the gun, watch this. It's a shame that the hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. All that knowledge and wisdom.
That man fell from the heavens, but nobody missing him, man. Meaning like, yo, the hood is an addiction. Motherfucker fell from the heavens and nobody missed him. You know what I mean? Is that I'm not sure what he's saying, but did it say like somebody died and nobody missed him? Like the fell from the heavens and nobody missed him? I'm not too sure about that. Let me listen to that again.
If you live by the gun, watch this. It's a shame that the hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. All that knowledge and wisdom, but he didn't share it, so there's no one to protect him. Yeah, there's power in
all that knowledge and wisdom, but nobody to share it with. You know what I mean? It's a selfish cat right there he's talking about here. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Watch this. It's a shame that the hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. All that knowledge and wisdom, but he didn't share it, so there's no one to protect him. Yeah, there's power in numbers, but don't underestimate age out here. There's too much power in youngers, and them man forgot there was hundreds. Anybody can be gangster. You've seen City of God, there's no age restriction.
Yo, that nigga said, yo, anybody could be gangster. You seen City of God, there's no age restrictions. You know what I mean? Because you could be the oldest of freaking men and be gangster and shit. You could be the youngest of little fucking boys and be gangster. The problem is not being gangster. It's not being gangster. It's a problem with knowing what you're fighting for and knowing what you're not fighting for. Because I mean, I think a true gangster don't have to pick up his hand and use a gun at all. You know what I mean? That's just my insight on things. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers that tend to be using the guns and all that type of shit, those always majority of the time end up to be soldiers. You know what I mean? They're just pawns in the actual game of gangsters. You know what I mean? So you don't really have to be the nigga that's pulling the bullet to pull that trigger to be the gangster. You know what I mean? Just keep that in mind.
There's power in numbers, but don't underestimate age out here. There's too much power in youngers. And
that shit, man. There's power in numbers, man. But at the end of the day, man, don't underestimate one person, man. For real.
Fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. All that knowledge and wisdom, but he didn't share it, so there's no one to protect him. Yeah, there's power in numbers, but don't underestimate age out here. There's too much power in youngers, and them man forgot there was hundreds. Anybody can be gangster. You've seen City of God, there's no age restriction. Nights never made my money. You pay to go to the church, there's no paid religion. I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction?
Alright, man. Hold up.
Made my money, you paid to go to the church, there's no paid religion. I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction?
Yo, hold up. I wanna hear that bar clear, son. You know what I mean? I'm getting it, but I'm not getting it 100%. Give me a second.
My money, you paid to go to the church, there's no paid religion. I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction?
Yo, that nigga said if you lived in a freaking home full of poverty, wouldn't you fight the affliction? You know what I mean? I don't know, like, what he says in between that. I can't hear it completely, but I'm gathering the whole freaking thought process and whatnot. If you lived in the process and whatnot, if you lived in a home of poverty and whatnot, I'm thinking he's coming at it on an angle like, yo, if you was poor and you lived in a home of poverty, you would have to eventually use the means that you could acquire to survive no matter what. You know what I mean? Because as men, you know what I mean, we are built. I mean, when I say men, I mean men, women, and child, whoever you are. You know what I mean? If you put in certain situation and whatnot, we are it's embedded in our DNA to survive. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what type of situation you put a fucking human being in, they're gonna find means to survive anyway, anyhow. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter about what the fuck law is or anything like that, son. You put up in you been put in a fucked up situation and whatnot. We are inbred to actually freaking survive that situation. You know what I mean? It's that fight shit. You know what I mean? And majority of times within us, we are built to fight. You know what I mean? Believe it or not.
Restriction nights never made my money. You paid to go to the church, there's no paid religion. I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction? The hood's an addiction. He went.
He was talking about like mad bills and shit, all up in your head and shit, yo. Wouldn't you fight the affliction? I think that's what he was saying, man. I missed that part. Like mad time. Did you guys see how much I rewind that shit, yo? I was like, yo, man, I need to let's go, man.
No one to having a big reputation. Violated by his own family, he's got no problem with violation. Using a weapon brings fear, and fear just means you don't need explanation. All he needs is.
He said, hold up.
He went from no one to having a big reputation. Violated by his own.
He went from nowhere to having a big reputation. So basically, at the end of the day, he was like a calm, quiet motherfucker and shit. But like as the time went on and whatnot, he basically. Let me see what he said here, man. I gotta fucking rewind that shit again.
The hood's an addiction. He went from no one to having a big reputation.
He said, the hood. Damn, man, hold up.
I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction? The hood's an addiction. He went from no one to having a big reputation.
He said the hood's an addiction. He went from no one to having a big reputation and shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like I said before, man, in order to freaking survive in certain type of vitamins and in vitamins, I said vitamins, in certain type of environments and whatnot, you have to basically conform to what it is. You know what I mean? When he says like he went from no one to basically everybody knowing who the fuck he was and whatnot, it wasn't the fact that he wanted to be a big thug nigga and shit. It's just the environment that changed him to be that hustler that he needed to be to actually survive for him and his family. You know what I mean? And when that nigga and it might not even so it might be freaking, oh, he was looking for power at the same token and whatnot, because in the hood sometimes power equals eating and freaking being able to freaking survive. You know what I mean?
Violated by his own family, he's got no problem with violation. Using a weapon brings.
Violated by his family, he has no problems with violation. You know what I mean? That's what he said, right?
In your head, would you not fight the affliction? The hood's an addiction. He went from no one to having a big reputation. Violated by his own family, he's got no problem with violation.
Violated by his family, he has no problems with violation. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he has no freaking what do you say? He has no freaking stability in his life and shit. When your own when your own family freaking violates you as a youth, or in any in as a youth and whatnot, you build a freaking hardcore shield around you, a hardcore wall around you and whatnot. So when it's time to inflict the same pain that your family afflicted with you, you know, onto you and whatnot, it's easy for you to do that, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know how it feels to be on the other side. So and it's like, yo, hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? And that's basically what happens. You know.
No weapon brings fear, and fear just means you don't need explanation. The hood's an addiction, he went from no one to having a big reputation. Violated by his own family, he's got no problem with violation. Using a weapon brings fear, and fear just means you don't need explanation.
He said, using a weapon brings fear, and fear means that you don't need an explanation. You know what I mean? This shit is fucking mad deep, man. I'm not even on the freaking 1 minute line, son. Shit.
And fear just means you don't need explanation. All he needs is a bad boy driver to help him escape from the destination.
He said, all nigga need is a bad man driver to leave from a destination, to move from out the destination. So basically what they just saying, yo, this nigga, it seems like he's talking about a jux, you know what I mean? A type of situation, he just did something, you know what I mean? Because this, oh wow, give me a second, I gotta rewind a little bit, man, because I want to hear that shit straight. I gotta hear that shit straight.
Restriction nights never made my money. You pay to go to the church, there's no paid religion. I'm not being funny. If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction? The hood's an addiction, he went from no one to having a big reputation. Violated by his own family, he's got no problem with violation. Using a weapon brings fear, and fear just means you don't need explanation. All he needs is a bad boy driver to help him escape from the destination.
Yo, son, all he needed a bad man driver to leave from the destination. So basically what he did was a crime. I don't know what the fucking crime was. I don't know what it was and whatnot, but like he violated somebody and shit, you know what I mean? Because he has no problem with violating people because his family violated him. It kind of freaking sets a tone of the freaking story. It's like this whole freaking first freaking the first freaking verse of the track is laying down what the story is gonna be about. You know what I mean? If that's what it is, you know what I mean? It's a freaking great ass intro as a first verse. You know what I mean? It feels like I'm fucking watching a movie right now and shit, and the narrator just laid down a complete great beginning of the story. Yo, I might be completely off right now, but if this is where this is going and whatnot, this is a dope ass track. You know what I mean? Let's get into it, yo.
If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, wider. Man's living like a wild animal. When he gets hungry, then it's robbery season. Beaten up as a child.
Hold up, man, hold up.
Die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, wider. Man's living like a wild animal. When he gets hungry, then it's robbery season. Beaten up as a child.
Man living like a wild animal. When he gets hungry, it's robbery season. You know what I mean? Damn, son, that nigga's a savage right here, yo. Let's go.
By the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, wider. Man's living like a wild animal. When he gets hungry, then it's robbery season. Beaten up as a child. He likes to hurt people, he don't need a reason. He thought them man were gods, but he watched them man turn mortal and weaken. The hood's an addiction, but most things in the hood these days are deceiving.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's exactly what I was telling you. You saw the first verse, right? He laid down the freaking passage and whatnot. And it seems like the more the story moves along and whatnot, the more details he give you about the freaking individual. Why it's like live by the gun, die by the gun. Remember the first time he was like, yo, he's abusive. He was abused by his family, so therefore he knows a lot of, he doesn't have a problem with being abusive and whatnot. Now they telling you that he was how the shit happened with his family and shit. Let's rewind a little bit, yo.
Up as a child, So he likes to hurt people, he don't need a reason. He thought their mum...
Now they going in. He was abused as a child. Now he has reasons to hurt other people and whatnot. And that's the same thing I was telling you before in the first verse and whatnot. It kind of sets a precedence for that type of ability to do shit like that to people, because you've been afflicted with that pain. So therefore, when you have your moral code is kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Your equilibrium shit is already fucked up from young and whatnot. So your morals and ethics is fucked up. You know what I mean? Basically, let's go.
Man's living like a wild animal. When he gets hungry, then it's robbery season. Beaten up as a child, so he likes to hurt people, he don't need a reason. He thought their man were gods, but he watched them man turn mortal and weaken. The hood's an addiction, but most things in the hood these days are deceiving. No Snapchats or tweeting. He's living under the radar, and that means he's avoiding policemen. He got left with a scar, and that's a reminder of when he got beaten. But it's not an L when it comes from an older. Them man are gods no longer the human, and humans stop breathing. Flip the mattress, pull the Adidas shoebox out, it's that time. He don't play games anymore, but it's looking like Mortal Kombat time. He had Scarface playing on DVD in the background, so when he left his room he heard Al Pacino say, "You better say goodnight to the bad guy."
You heard Al Pacino say, you better say goodnight to the bad guy. And right here, like he said in the beginning of this track, in this verse, he said, yo, it's hunting season and shit. You know what I mean? So right now, they laid the reason why in the first verse. Like I said, the verse is a freaking intro and whatnot, and it lays out freaking precisely what the freaking track is gonna be laid out about. You know what I mean? I'm snitching on the track right now before I even hear it. You know what I mean? In the second verse right here and whatnot, it's like telling you, like, on some real shit. This is a little bit more about this motherfucker that lives by the gun and dies by the gun. You know what I mean? And when he gets hungry and shit, you know what I mean? He it's robbing season and whatnot. So therefore, we already know what he's about to do and shit. So let's go. Let's hear a little bit more and dive deeper into this freaking story right here, yo. Definitely gangster too. Definitely gangster, yo.
By the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun. The hood's an addiction. He's wearing clothes with no description. He's heard stories about hits, and he's got what it takes to make a man go missing. He knows where my man chills, and he takes the back roads. He's turning and twisting. The plan's quite simple. Go to the pub, identify man, and blast him. As he gets closer, he starts losing his composure. He remembers.
See that shit, man? He looking for his victim, you know what I mean? And remember, he got the driver, he got everything already, son. So now he looking for the Vic now, you know what I mean? He's talking about he down low. The second verse was about like he down low, trying to stay low from the police and whatnot. But at the same time, man, he's on a mission now. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Twisting. The plan's quite simple. Go to the pub, identify man, and blast him. As he gets closer, he starts losing his composure. He remembers looking up to the man. He takes the back roads. He's turning and twisting. The plan's quite simple. Go to the pub, identify man, and blast him.
Yo, man, that shit is ill, man. Straight to the point. Go to the man and blast him. You know what I mean? Alright, yo, that's savage right there. Let's go.
He's turning and twisting. The plan's quite simple. Go to the pub, identify man, and blast him. As he gets closer, he starts losing his composure. He remembers looking up to the man that he's about to go and dispose of. It's 10 o'clock, and he knows them man link at the pub just to talk business. He pulls down his mask, and that's just in case there's a witness, just to be safe. Then he arrived and seen everybody standing outside. Squinted his eyes, located the guy, and then let 4 shots off with a quickness.
Left 4 shots down with a quickness. Yo, and you know what happened, yo, my G son? It was in my head, but I didn't say nothing, yo. The nigga said, no, Scarface, but I think he was freaking, forget it. I was thinking too much. I was thinking too much. Let's go.
Guys located the guy and then let 4 shots off with a quickness. By the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun. He definitely hit somebody on the floor. You could see a lifeless body, mixed emotions, breathing heavy. No remorse at all, he's not sorry.
Yo, man, you see that shit? He shot up and he see that he got somebody, you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, he has no remorse because he had a job to do. He did his job. Now it's time for him to leave. You know what I mean?
He definitely hit somebody on the floor. You could see a lifeless body, mixed emotions, breathing heavy. No remorse at all, he's not sorry. He just let man down and he cannot wait for the word to get round. This means he'll be the talk of the town and now they'll could see a lifeless body, mixed emotions.
Yeah, man. Now this means that he'll be the talk of the town. That's why in the beginning of the story, I think that's why in the beginning of the story he's saying like, yo, what point am I? Freaking 303. Give me a second. I'm gonna rewind right quick.
If you was raised in a broken home with poverty constantly hanging over your head, would you not fight the affliction? The hood's an addiction. He went from no one to having a big reputation.
You see, when he said he went from no one to having a big reputation, that let's speed up right here when he said, yo, right here.
Then he got a call straight from hell, but it wasn't Lucifer. It was his sister Shell. He just let man down and he cannot wait for the word to get round. This means he'll be the talk of the town and now they'll know.
It says this means he will be the talk of the town. That was like from the beginning where he said he went from nothing to something and whatnot. That was like the shit that brought those two verses together and whatnot. Let's go, man.
He's never been a clown. Then he got a call straight from hell, but it wasn't Lucifer. It was his sister Shell, hysterically crying.
Oh shit. His sister called him hysterically crying. I see the irony already, my G, son. This is gonna be some fucked up shit, yo. Let's go. This some freaking damn, man. Yeah, let's go.
Police sirens in the background as well. She said mom's been shot at the pub we were standing.
Oh, that nigga shot his fucking mom, son.
And the door and she just fell. He had one more bullet. He looked up into the sky and blasted himself. The hood's an addiction. That man fell.
Oh shit, man. Oh shit. Well, I have to say I was wrong and shit, yo. That nigga killed his mom and he couldn't take the freaking pressure, so he killed himself afterwards, man. That's gangster right there.
Shot at the pub we were standing at the door and she just fell. He had one more bullet. He looked up into the sky and blasted himself. Shell, hysterically crying, with police sirens in the background as well. This means he'll be the talk of the town and now they'll know that he's never been a clown. Then he got a call straight from hell, but it wasn't Lucifer. It was his sister Shell, hysterically crying, with police sirens in the background as well. She said mom's been shot at the pub we were standing at the door and she just fell. He had one more bullet. He looked up into the sky and blasted himself. The hood's an addiction. That man fell from the heavens but nobody missed him. All that
nigga, oh, it makes sense. That nigga fell from the heavens, but nobody missed him. The fact that he killed his mom could have been the reason why, you know what I mean? Oh, shit, yo, that's crazy.
Knowledge and wisdom, but he didn't share it, so there's no one to protect him. Yeah, there's power in numbers, but don't underestimate age out here. There's too much power in youngers. And them man forgot there was hundreds. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, why don't you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun, die by the gun, yeah. If you live by the gun.
Yo, man. Ah, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you this track right here, man, took me out to take. Yo, man, definitely an awesome ass track, man. I ain't gonna fucking lie, man. I love when, and this shit right here is going on my favorite section. It's gonna be on my complete go around playlist over and over again, man, because like this track right here, this is what I'm talking about, a great freaking solid bar track, you know what I mean? Because it not a bar track, but a story track and whatnot that has different layers attached to it. Like this dude that wrote this track, man, Bugzy Malone, that wrote this track and whatnot, he wrote it in layers and whatnot, so there was like an intimate story built in it, you know what I mean? So when you listen to it and shit, you just don't listen to it one time. You listen to that shit several times, because when you listen to it several times, it unlocks different freaking pieces to the story and shit, you know what I mean? Definitely a dope ass track. Definitely on my favorite list, you know what I mean? Definitely banging that shit. like not right after, but like soon after this video and whatnot. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, man. How do you guys feel about it? Did you get the same goosebumps in your freaking body after you listened to this jump off right here, yo? If you did, yo, put it in the comment section. Even if you didn't, yo, tell me what you feeling. What was your best part of the track? You know what I mean? If you guys got any requests, you know what to do. Put it down in the comment section all day, motherfucking long and shit, yo. You see this wrong fucking finger right here, man? Put it all the way up with the motherfucking thumbs up, all the way in the sky. I want to see mad thumbs up in the motherfucking sky. You know what I mean, for this video. You know what I mean. Last and not least, and whatnot. You know what I mean. Show me some love and support by subscribing to the channel right down there, man. Some love and support, you know what I mean? And guess what, yo? I got like 2 videos over there, you know what I mean? Right there, right there. Go give them a freaking look and whatnot. You might like them too, you know what I mean? But anyways, besides that, yo, I gotta get out of here, man. I'm gonna check you guys out later. Peace out, vibers.